Hello, wonderful Eurovision people. It's Alesia Michelle, and I'm back. And we are truly going to kick off this Eurovision 2025 season the only way I know how. Maybe the best way that I know how. And that is with my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. Eurovision 2025. I got a new video. Alesia Michelle. Hey girl. I'm ready to go. How you feeling? Eurovision fan. Yeah. Are you ready for the show? It's 2025. We gotta keep it real. We gotta keep it real. Let's go. Hey, if you've never been to my channel before, welcome. If you love the Eurovision Song Contest, this is your opportunity to like this video and to subscribe. So let's just set the stage. This video is all about improvement. This video is all about how we can do better. This video is all about setting us up to prepare for possibly one of the best Eurovision Song Contests we've ever had. Now look, it's a tall order. But Switzerland, I think you're up to the task. So here are my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. We're going to kick it off real simple. Novice hosting. You know, we've been doing this thing a little bit lately where we don't necessarily have all presenters presenting. We bring in actors, we might bring in previous talent. And you know, here's the thing. It is a risk. And it is a risk that I think some of these broadcasters have been too comfortable taking. Malin Ackerman is great. She's great. I love Watchmen and everything, but hosting is just not her calling. It is particularly not her calling when you are standing next to the greatness that is Pietra Mede. So, we're going to keep it real simple. Novice hosting. That's the first thing of my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. Next up, in my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. This one's going to feel a little bit controversial, but I'm just going to get the controversy out of the way so we can get to the rest of the list. And this is going to be songs about stuff that just happened. You know, it's interesting because even in Hollywood, we've been having this weird trend of like movies and biopics about stuff that just happened. And, you know, there's something to be said for allowing yourself the time to process. Allowing collectively the world to marinate, allowing us to have space, you know, to really dig deep into what happened and reflect. I would like to see myself as an artist. I'm not, but I like to see myself as an artist, and even I, you know, give myself a little bit of time to marinate and process before I just move and go and do things. So y'all know what I'm talking about? And I feel like this thing with the songs about stuff that just happened, again, it's just happening in sort of this microcosm of the world that we live in. Because like I said, we have movies now about things that just happened. For those of you who are American, you'll know about this intimately. There was a movie called Bombshell that basically came out like a year and a half after all of the drama at Fox News. And to me, I remember being like, didn't it just happen? Like, didn't this just happen? Like, sure, I'm curious. I'd like to see the movie. I did end up watching it. But to be fair, the movie probably wasn't as good as it could have been had we gave it a little bit more time. Allow a couple of more people to come forward. Allow a couple of more people who might have even been in the inner sanctum, inner circle to tell their story to come forward. So yeah, there's a lot of things that have been happening in the world. Like, this is what I want to say. Like right now in America, we have a presidential election going down. If I get a song within the next year talking about the presidential election, you know, and like so-and-so is president and blah, 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 I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm like, can we get to the end of the term at least when we've had time to process, when we've had time to really tell this story and tell this narrative fully? So yeah, at Eurovision 2025, I don't want to hear some songs about some shit that just happened. Next up in my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. Non-dancers trying to dance. Look, y'all, I understand that everyone, you know, wants to achieve. But we have to know our strengths and we have to know our weaknesses. And if you are a vocalist that is not very good at dancing, I don't want to see you dancing. I don't want to see you even try. You know, if you are a vocalist who is not really a dancer, you know what's for you? Meaningful movement. Meaningful movement is for you. You know what else is for you? Runs, hitting high notes. You know, I want you to stay in your lane. Do not be tempted by the TikTok of it all to get up on that stage and attempt to dance.
Don't be tempted. Just don't do it. Next up in my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025, forced dance breaks. Europe, we have got to get it together. Do you want to see me dance?
No.
Do you want to see me dance?
No.
Look, I know that there are some people who are amazing dancers. Celia was amazing last year. She really went on the stage, she hit the notes that she needed to hit, and she danced. It was a great, clean, and simple, straightforward performance. I appreciated it. But here's the thing. I'm talking about the forced dance breaks. The ones where it is just like, all right, guys, and now it's time for me to dance. Like, please stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it. We've had our fill. We've had our fill. Honestly, I'm living in a world where, honestly, this year at Eurovision might be like a band or an indie year, where we just have a really good musician singing a really good song. And when I say musician, singer-songwriter singing a really good song and keeping it simple. We've had our fill. We've seen Chanel. We've seen Eleni. We've even seen Noah. And we've seen Celia. I don't want the rest of the dance breaks that are forced. Like, just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Some of y'all might still want it, but this is my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. Next up, this is going to be lazy interval acts. Lazy interval acts, and I'm going to say last year we had it with the sing-along karaoke interval act. I love karaoke. I really, really do. But I don't necessarily want to see that as an interval act performance. We're going to be in Switzerland. Y'all got budget. And I have high standards, okay? I have high standards because I believe that you can fulfill them. I believe that you can level us up. Don't give me no lazy interval act. What happened to like the interpretive dance, the really big numbers? What happened to these cultivated, performances, where we're, talking about maybe helping the environment, maybe where we're doing a tribute to like one really, really well-known act, like a really well-known performer, or maybe where we're getting a tribute to one of our past like Eurovision winners. What happened to just keeping it simple? Come on now. Stop relying on us, the audience, to add essence to the performance. Give me a cultivated performance. Next up in my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. Okay, if I'm not going to get an in memoriam section, I definitely do not want a performance talking about staff. Okay? Y'all remember the We Love Martin interval. It was cute, and I love Sarah Dawn Finer. So this is no shade to her, but here we are. We are at the Eurovision Song Contest. Europe has a vast musical scene. Europe has artists that are known across the world. Like, why are we doing performances dedicated to staff? If I am not going to get an in memoriam recognizing the Eurovision performers that we have lost the previous year on the stage, I surely do not want a song about staff. Next up in my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025, marketing campaigns to promote votes. It should not be allowed. We should not be able to take out billboards in Times Square. We should not be running digital ads on Vote for My Song. You can promote your song. If you got a label, that's your label's job. They're supposed to promote your song. I'm all cool with that. But if the ad says, call blah, 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 or go to ESC Vote blah, 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 and vote for song 6, like, no. It should not be allowed. We need to add it in the rules. It need not occur, okay? Because it instantly puts people at a disadvantage. And when people say, are you buying votes? You literally are. You literally are if you're running a marketing campaign in that way. So it should be in the rules that folks are not allowed to do marketing campaigns to promote votes. Again, the nuance here is, let's say you drop your song on YouTube and you want to run some YouTube ads so people can like watch your music video. If you want to promote, in your country, like that your song has dropped, I'm cool with that. If you have a post on Instagram and you want to boost it and it's you doing the choreography to your song, go for it. But the billboards, the digital ads, the marketing, the print ads, whatever digital marketing campaign that says vote with the tools on how you can vote and the number of the performance should not be allowed. It should be cheating. It should be considered cheating because you are instantly getting a leg up over countries that don't have budget like that. And that's not fair. Like, there's already going to be somewhat of a discrepancy of budget when it comes to how people are able to bring their songs to life on the stage. And this is an outside thing that I think we just have to cut out to level the playing field for everyone. Next up in my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. Props on the stage for the sake of having a prop. If no one is touching the prop, if no one is interacting with the prop, we should not be having the prop on stage. We just shouldn't. And I'm all for an immersive experience on the stage, but I don't think we had that many immersive experiences in the staging last year, but we surely had a whole bunch of props that were just there for the sake of like having a prop. So if you're gonna spend all that money on a prop, all I'm saying is, can someone touch it? Can they climb on top of it? Can people pop out of it? Can we reveal it? Can it move? If it ain't doing any of those things, I don't want it. Save the money. And remember, camera angles are free. All right, now before I get to my last 2 things from my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025, I'm going to give you some honorable mentions, as I always do. So first up in my honorable mentions is real simple: bots and trolls. I don't know about y'all, but like, I've been doing this for a while. I feel like we have built great community here, and I know the people who are my subscribers, and I know the folks who are not. I know the people who comment on my videos, because again, this is community. When I first started this channel, I started this channel because I didn't have anyone to talk about Eurovision with, and I wanted some people to talk to, and I wasn't really getting that just by writing articles and things like that and talking on Twitter. And so I was like, well, maybe if I start a YouTube channel or something like that, we'll get to have more conversations. And I feel like we have been doing just that. So when I see a bot, I would say a comment from user name 546879110112025 456, and that comment says, "Alesia, I've been following you for years and I am just so disappointed." No, you haven't. No, you haven't. I don't know who you are, bot. So I will tell you, I don't want any bots. I don't want any trolls, because unlike some people on the internet, I protect my peace. I protect my peace, and I think you should too. And so when I say that, block away. Block away. If you're going to be coming over here giving me grief, I will block you. If you're going to be coming over here attacking other people in my comments who are my subscribers, who love this song contest, I will be blocking you. And guess what? Why will I be doing it? Because I can. Because I can. Because we are allowed to cultivate the communities that we want to cultivate on the internet. We are allowed to engage with the people that we want to engage with on the internet. And trust and believe, if I don't want to engage with you in real life, I surely will not want to engage with you on virtual space either. So I just think that and so this is like an honorable mention for me, but it is also a PSA for you. You do not have to go back and forth with anybody. You do not have to prove your point or defend your opinions to anybody. You can feel what you feel, you can think what you think, and as long as you are not attacking other people or trying to force other people to think like you and feel how you feel, you let it go. Let it go. Let people think what they want to think. You think what you want to think. I have always said on this channel, this is a conversation. We do not have to agree. So I'm not blocking people that I disagree with. I'm blocking people who are bots, who are trolls, who are spewing irrational hate and sitting in the comments and lying and spreading falsehoods. And I really encourage all of you to do that too. Protect your peace, okay? Don't ever let your righteousness disturb your peace. My next honorable mention is, y'all, and this is going to be a hard one for me because I am guilty of this, but I'm not going to be guilty of it this year. We're not going to complain about the juries at the big show. This year, we will not be complaining about the juries at the big show. And some of you, y'all really want the juries to be back in the semifinals. And some of you, I understand why. I understand why. Because you're talking about, and sort of referencing situations like we experienced this year with Malta. I hear you. I hear you. But here's the thing. If we really look at what happened, we might not love the outcomes of everything. But it's not like
the stuff didn't make no sense.
You know what I mean? It might not be what you thought. It might not have been what you wanted. But if you break it down, take a deep breath, come out of your feelings, 360 view above, trust me, you will be able to swallow it. I believe you. I believe you. The next thing that I don't want to see, and I don't think that this has been particularly bad from last year, but it's something that has been creeping up. I'm going to just say ageism. Just because somebody is over the age of 35 does not all of a sudden make them old, and does not all of a sudden make them unattractive, or does not all of a sudden make them not filling a genre or type or whatever. Young kids, I know y'all are out there. It's cute. It's cute. And it goes both ways. Just because someone is young does not mean they are dumb. Okay? Just because someone is young doesn't mean that they're novice. When we talk about novice, I'm looking at resumes. You know, what's the discography? Perfect example. Destiny. Young on the Eurovision stage, but a novice, she was not. Okay? When I talk about how I felt like a little bit when we were talking about Spain's entry this year, there were some folks that were like, is this a bop or is this not a bop? It was absolutely a bop. That was a pop girly track. Okay? Okay, so ageism, I don't think it's that bad, but I do think it's something we got to be mindful of. We got to be careful about it. All right, here are my last 2 things and my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. I'm going to just get this one out of the way. Copycat acts. And I have said this before, and I think I have included it in my 10 things. But look, y'all. If you are trying to send an entry that mirrors a song from the previous year, let me tell you what you won't do. Win. Let me say that again. Let me tell you what you won't do. Win. But every single year, time and time again, we get these countries sending songs that truly are just like, you can tell, and it's obvious, they are paying homage to a song and an entry that we experienced the previous year. So I'm going to say this with the asterisks of this. Don't y'all be coming up here trying to do your own rendition of what Bambi Thug gave us on the stage. Don't y'all be coming up here trying to give us your own rendition of what Joost from the Netherlands should have probably been doing at the grand final. I don't want it. We don't want it. Now, here's the exception. If this is something that you've just been doing and this is true to the artist, go for it. Ain't nobody gonna come for you. Well, some people probably will come for you, but we will correct them, okay? I'm sitting here in this chair and I will correct the people when they come out, okay? We experience Katia. Traffic! Dun, 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 dun. Are y'all listening to that song? I like it. I like it, okay? Traffic! Dun, 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 dun. Okay, anyway. We have experienced it. We don't need to experience it again on the Eurovision stage. There is so much music. There are so many musical genres. There's so many different types of artists. There are so many different stories that we can tell on stage. There is truly no excuse for a performer to get on this stage and give us something that we experienced the year before, or something that is obviously mirroring what we experienced the year before. Thanks. Next up, and this one I know I have said before. And I think because of the televote of it all in the semifinals, some of y'all countries are really starting to play games. And as much as Eurovision is joyful and fun, this is not a game with which I want to play with you, okay? And I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, okay? This is, I'm reaching out my hand to hold your hand when I say this to you. Do not give me a joke entry if it is not going to actually be telling a joke and be funny. Do not give me a joke entry if the notes on the page that are required for the vocalist to hit are not going to be hit. Don't do it. Don't do it. Some people want it, but those people who want it, they're not really our friends. They're not really in our bubble, you know? So we need to keep those folks at bay, because what we're trying to do with the Eurovision Song Contest is we're trying to celebrate musicians. We're trying to celebrate and discover and sort of introduce talent to the world. Capital T on the talent to the world. I love to laugh. I love comedy. Give me the comedy in my interval acts. Give me the comedy from my hosts. I don't want the comedy to be me watching your performer fumble around on stage, not hitting their notes correctly. Well, those are my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision 2025. What do you think? What are your 10 things that you don't want to see on the Eurovision 2025 stage? Drop down, talk to me in the comments below. Did you agree with some of my things? Did you disagree with some of my things? That's okay. The comments are there for you. The mic is hot and ready. Drop down, talk to me in the comments below. This is a conversation, and you know what? If you haven't already, please like this video and please do subscribe. Bye.